There's a QB question in Browns camp after Kenny Pickett suffered a hamstring injury during Saturday's practice. New on Sports, head coach Kevin Stefanski addressed the situation.
I thought Kenny had a strong block there, like you mentioned, Mary Kay. Did use his mobility a couple times there, and is a fast player. He can really run. So we'll make sure that he heals up nice and fast, and then get him back out there. But I thought he had a good 4 days. I don't have a timeline. With something like this, we'll see how it goes. But his mindset, my mindset, will just go day to day.
Senior NFL insider Jeremy Fowler joins us now. And Jeremy, you were with the Browns over the weekend when Kenny Pickett got injured. What more can you tell us about his injury and the quarterback situation over there?
Well, Amina, I checked with people with the Browns, and I was told that day-to-day classification for Pickett is firm. This is not considered a long-term issue right now. But with hamstrings, they simply don't want to re-aggravate it, so they're going to take it easy with him for a couple days, see how he responds. But he had a particularly good 2 days. Coming off Saturday, he threw a walk-off touchdown. He rolled to his right, threw a beautiful pass that was right there. He ended practice with a score, so he has made a good first impression. So it is definitely untimely for him to have to come out and sit out right now. But there's a lot of time in this quarterback battle. I talked to Kevin Stefanski. He told me he's at least a week away from creating any sort of pecking order or depth chart. So this is going to be wide open for a while. Pickett will have his chances.
So still a lot of time to compete there with the Browns and their quarterback situation. Let's stay in the AFC North, where you're now at Cincinnati with the Bengals in their training camp. What's the latest with Trey Hendrickson and his contract situation?
Well, Hendrickson is not here. He's still holding out from the team in Florida, training and hoping to get a contract done. Now, I have been told that there's been some progress on the contract in spots over the last week or two. They've been in contact. They are trying to consummate a new contract for Hendrickson coming off a league-leading sack production. But the problem here is the guaranteed money. That's usually an issue for a lot of these contracts. Hendrickson wants a long-term deal commensurate with his skill set as being one of the top pass rushers in the league, and he wants some security as well beyond just the first year. And so they're going to have to work out those particulars. Somebody's going to have to give here. Hendrickson has been dug in, and so is the team. So it's going to be an interesting couple days to see if he actually reports. But right now, he is still staying away from the team.
And the Bengals finally have their first rounder, Shamar Stewart, at camp. The two parties agreed to a deal after a few months of negotiations following the NFL draft. What's been his first impressions out there on the practice field?
Well, he made one today. I mean, I was out on the practice field in the indoor facility. He had back-to-back pass deflections in the backfield. So he was getting in there, causing some disruption. His teammates were celebrating with him. So he's come in early on the first day, got about 12 snaps. And then today he got an even bigger workload. And head coach Zach Taylor has been impressed so far. Check this out.
I mean, we got him right back into it. You know, he's meeting extra with Jerry Montgomery, our D-line coach. We got him about 12 reps yesterday in the team periods right away. He held himself well, and we'll take it day to day with him and get a feel for him over the course of practice. Don't want to overload him early on, and we've got plenty of time to get him right before this first preseason game, and we'll see where he lands when we get to that point.
Big theme here from Cincinnati. They want to get off to a stronger start this year. Head coach Zach Taylor told me that we are trying to emphasize coming out hot on offense and defense, not wasting any time. They've had slow starts to the last few seasons. They want to come out of the gate with a win week one, and they're setting the tone right now.
Yeah, it makes sense to change it up out there in Cincinnati. Jeremy Fowler.
Ever thought. In fact, we're going to start with Janet Crocratia, one of the doctors who treated Coach Prime.
We removed the tumor. It was very high grade, invading through the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer, something we call very high risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. So we did discuss options. We discussed some options of treatment in the bladder, and we discussed bladder removal as well. Given his commitments to his family and to the team, elected to undergo a bladder removal. We performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
Give it a clap, it's okay. Get checked out, because it could have been a whole another gathering if I had. I'm thankful. It's been a tremendous journey. It's been tough. I think I dropped 25 pounds. I was like a Atlanta Falcon prime at one point. you know, and just dealing with the catheter, dealing with all the stuff that I had to deal with. And right now I'm still dealing with going to the bathroom. Like, it's a whole life change. Like, I can't, and I'm gonna be transparent, I can't pee like I used to pee. It's totally different. It was some scenes that you saw, all the bull junk that transpired on draft day. It wasn't just that. It was just, I knew as well, I had a surgery coming up. My sons to this day don't know what transpired. I just told them something with my foot, again, because I wanted them to focus on making the team and not focused on dad. So they really don't know. My daughters do, and this joker right here, much love to my son Junior, who have not left my side since. And I wanted to be here with my team. I wanted to see the new talent that we brought in. I wanted to see them work, see them train, coach them, and I couldn't. But slowly but surely, I built myself back up to where I'm able, I'm strong, I'm ready. I'm still probably about 12 pounds down. I'm gonna get that right. I'm gonna fill these overalls up like no other. But it has been a tremendous journey, and I'm truly thankful that God is so good. God is so good. You have no idea. You have no idea. There's some people out there right now dealing with the same issue, affected by that C word that we usually, when we hear that word, is normally a life sentence attached to it. But not this time. But not this time. Because God got me. And I don't take it for granted. I don't want you to take it for granted. Anybody out there, I don't want anybody to take it for granted, because it's real. Everybody in this room, I guarantee you, have been affected by that C word somewhere in your life. Some parent, some friend, some loved one, somebody has been affected or infected. Some people have beat it. We have a player have beat it on our team, right? Family members have beat it. And I be darned, I think I will have a wonderful team, ain't it, Doc? We gonna beat it, ain't we?
It's beaten.
It's beaten. Amen.
And that's the good news. He did beat it. Of course, Amina here still with me. We got our national college football reporter, Heather Dinich. And Heather, we'll certainly get to you in just a moment, but listening to Coach Prime, it took me back to when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, an aggressive form. And I remember the doc telling me, if you don't have surgery, you'd be dead within a year. And when he told me I had cancer, I thought I was dead. I was like, oh, I'm dead man walking.
Yeah.
And I had to tell myself too, I gotta beat this thing. But there were so many similarities listening to Coach Prime talk, because, I had to have surgery. I had to have a catheter. I had to deal with a catheter. I had to use Depends after surgery to do that type of thing. And just like Coach Prime, I didn't even tell my family about it, because the doctor said, yours is so aggressive. We need to make sure we know exactly what we're working with before you talk to them, because we don't want to scare them. And at that time, my boys were so young, and I didn't tell them until I knew I was going to definitely have surgery, and that it was an aggressive form of cancer. And I just remember Coach Prime here, where he was saying he had lost so much weight. I had surgery, I was 194 pounds. By the time I had surgery and I went back to work, I was 174. And I had dropped 20 pounds. And it was so funny when I walked in, people looked at me like, oh my God, is he gonna make it? There's just so many similarities listening to Coach Prime. Oh my goodness, it's taking me all the way back to when I had surgery.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that stood out to me as well, was him talking about not letting his sons know, right? Wanting them to focus on the NFL draft. And when you hear Deion's story, you go back and you start thinking about some of the criticisms that he was dealing with while dealing with that. Watching his son